Howdy folks, TJ here. Thought today would be the day to replace on the Omni laptop the plastic bracket that came with in stock. Jordy, I think that's a proper pronunciation, made some cool metal brackets that he put up for sale very inexpensively. So I thought today would be the day to replace out the plastic one with the nice metal ones. The plastic so far has worked fine for me, but it is a little wiggly. I mean, I don't know if this will pick it up, but when you're opening the laptop, it does kind of put some, bending stress. You can kind of see it there on it. And I know some folks had some plastic ones that broke. That's probably why he decided to make some nice metal ones. And again, very inexpensively. So today's the day. And I thought I'd just make a video on me replacing it out. It's not like rocket science, but at the same time, I'm going to document it and maybe it'll be helpful for somebody else. Maybe they've got an Omni non-laptop and they buy these brackets separately and it might help them put it on. Or some folks that haven't upgraded from the plastic ones yet. So anyway, I'm going to pull in close on here and we'll do a video today on replacing the laptop Omni's bracket to a nice metal one. Alright, so I guess step number one, make sure you don't have I've got batteries in my laptop, so I'm making sure it's not turned on, of course, and it is not. And so I think the step number one is to take, because when I received this laptop, the hinges were already connected to the screen. So I think what I'm going to do in this case is I'm just going to remove these 4 screws here to take this completely off. That's probably the smartest thing to do at this point. And kind of make it the way that it arrived originally. And I'm going to open, just kind of loosen each screw up just a little bit. Kind of get it all equally done. I don't know why I do that, but I always take tension off. And I'm going to put these screws over here on the left kind of out of the way. You receive inside the kit some different size screws and such. So I'm going to have to, I should have probably read up a little bit. I don't know if there's any documentation actually, but I know that I have to use some different size screws because these plastic brackets are a bit thicker. So technically this should just now slide off. Get my cool Omni out of the way for now. Of course, without any screws in there, you gotta be careful. You don't want to lift up and everything kind of fall out there. Alright, so I guess step number 2 is I need to remove this bracket. So, what's the logical thing here to do? Alright, so, as you've been watching, I started unscrewing these screws. Do not do that because this plastic piece remains. He's got it connected to the laptop screen. So what we're going to be doing is removing these 2 nuts here. I should have paid more attention to that later. So I've got this little nut driver. I'm going to take these little guys off here. I'm going to put these parts over here. Oh, there's a little foot. Have to save my little foot. little foot came off too. They were like in here. That's weird. I don't think I even recognized those before. There's only 3. Anyway, all right, onwards. And there is a screw on the bottom here, so I might have to get leverage on it by holding down below. I'm trying to do it with my fingers, but it's not working on this side. This top one is, though. Looks like I need a little Phillips here. All right. So there's the old brackets. And, well, this is the new and this is the old. You can see the metal one quite a bit thicker. I mean, thinner. So now let's try to put some logic into play here on how this is all going to work. And figure out the best way to do it. I think I'll contemplate it for a second, then figure out what goes where. Alright, so I quickly kind of perused pictures just to make sure I was doing it right. So it looks like the best thing to do on the bracket is in your little packet of all the screws, and I've dumped mine off over here to the right in case you're not seeing them. And the inside here, there's these screws are just about the same size as the holes you're going in. And this inner part, you'll see that it's got a nice concave, so these screws go in, so they're nice and flush. So it takes a little bit of wiggling around to get them in. I just find that if I use the screwdriver here and start them both off, gets them in there good. And then what's going to happen is, want to make sure, so this is the screen as it's going to be looking at you. And this side, it's got the big hole over here. It's a little bit different. This is for the power button and stuff. So this is going to be the right side here. And stick them in the bracket. Like so. And then I'm going to start off these little nuts here. And then I'll just leave everything slightly loose. And we can tighten everything later after we make sure it kind of fits in there. But I'm just going to kind of get these loosely on here for now. So there's that side. Hopefully I'm getting the right orientation here. And now time to do this side. So find the 2 little screws. Again, here's the, I don't know if the picture's pitching up, but you'll see that there's little contours in here where the screws can go in. And the screws are just about the same size as the holes, so they don't just push straight in. You got to kind of wiggle and jiggle them to get them in there. Or just kind of get a little screwdriver here and kind of wiggle and screw it in as you're doing it. Again, this is not like rocket science, but I'll let you know what I find as I go. And I'm going to take my glasses off. As you get older, stuff doesn't, my eyes are pretty bad anyway. I can't see stuff, and my fingers are getting much less sturdy and not wiggly. Alright, those two are in. Okay, now time to do this side. I went ahead and fed the screws in, or little bolts I guess I should call them. And I'm gonna slip it through over here and get the nuts put on. Just hand tightening right now. And I'll get my screwdriver here and just kind of slightly tighten stuff up. Not very tight at all. I'll do the same over here. So right now, technically, and this is not very tight yet, but okay, make sure to do yourself a favor and tighten all these before you put it on, because once you put this on, you're not going to be able to hold the screws and make everything tight. So do yourself a favor and tighten them once you've got it connected up the way you like it. Just tight enough, don't go crazy, I don't think. So that side's pretty good. Now as for this side. I'm definitely not a lefty. Alright, that's good. Now it's time to put this on my Omni. There's the two brackets on there. Now let's kind of do a dry fit here and actually see if... and again, there's no screws holding this. Well, there's one here holding it on, but... yeah, looking good. Maybe I'll try to put the screws on right now. So I'm guessing I have to use, here's the old screw and here's the new one. Looks the same size. Maybe they just sent some extras. And there's an extra nut in there too. Now where did I put that screw top? Oh, right here. Now the only thing that was weird is these little guys came off of the plastic ones. I don't see any areas here that these would go in. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe these were on the bottom. Yeah, maybe they're in those holes there. So I might be missing one. Yeah, I'm thinking they went right there. So that's weird. I guess I'll stick them back. At least a couple of them. I guess mine was missing one. Where will it be best, in the front or in the back? I'll just try the front for now. I gotta look at it. No, I don't see them in here. So I'm guessing mine only had, these are the new leg, or the new rubbers for the things here. And they only gave 2. That's weird. Again, all weird things that I'm coming across as I'm doing this here. How does this make it line up any easier or harder? I don't think those really stay on too well anyway. Remember, I could have tightened everything back up still, but look at that. See if this still plugs in. Yep. So the one error that I did at the beginning, you'll notice I started unscrewing these. Don't do that. One side's nice and tight still, but one side's got kind of loosey-goosey screws now. I don't think it's going to make probably too big of a difference. It seems to be working fine, but I'm not sure if I can get a little, if I can remove these somehow, put a little something on them to make them hold in better, but at this point, seems to be holding fine, so. Just kind of seeing how it opens and closes. Yeah, I would say much nicer. So, there you go. I'm just going to kind of tidy things up. Actually, let's see if she boots. Mine does have battery in it, so. Effing balls. There we go. Cool, huh? Brackets on. I think I'll tidy things up and call it a day. Thanks for watching, everyone.